Welcome students to online classes of mathematics for class 8. In this video we are going to study chapter number 8, which is comparing quantities of NCERT textbook, and we'll try to cover the exercise 8.1. This is the session number 1 for this particular chapter. Myself Deepak Gautam, TT Mathematics in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sankatam. So let's start with the today's class. The chapter comparing quantities divided in total 7 subtopics, which are ratio and proportion, increasing and decreased percentage, discount, profit and loss, tax, compound interest, and application of compound interest formula. Today in this session we are going to study the only ratio and proportion. Okay, so let's understand what is a ratio and proportion first. So simply a ratio is comparison of two values expressed as a quotient. So simply ratio is a comparison bit of two values and we express them as the quotient means in division form. Okay, for example, if you say if there are 12 girls and 18 boys in a class, then the ratio of the girls to boys is 12 divided by 18. One thing that you have to notice here, that in writing the ratio in this statement, the first mention is come for the girls and the second mention is come for boys. So when you represent them in the ratio form, you will always write the value which is mentioned for, like it in this statement the girls are mentioned first, so we'll write the number of girls in the denominator and the number of boys in the number of girls in the numerator and number of boys in the denominator. Okay, so that's how we represent a ratio. So ratio is simply a comparison of two different values and we express them as a quotient. Okay, quotient means in division form, and while writing the ratio, the quantity or the value which is mentioned first, you will write that in the numerator, and the which is mentioned later is you will write that in the numerator, like I have written it here. Okay, while the proportion is the equation stating that two ratios are equal. Okay, so proportion is simply a equation, that means it will involve a equality sign. Okay, and which state that two ratios are equal. For example, like we have this 12 by 18, so when you divide them by 6 you will get 2 by 3. So now you can see that this 12 by 18 is equals to 2 by 3, and while we write this in this form, they are called proportion. Okay, while the values are different but their proportion are same. Okay, 12 is to 18 is exactly same in the proportion as 2 is to 3. Okay, so as you can see, the values are different, 12 and 18, and here 2 and 3, but their proportions are equal. That is 12 is to 18 is same as 2 is to 3. Okay, so when we represent the ratios in this form, they are called proportions. Okay, I hope the ratio and proportion is clear to you. So just look at some basics of the ratio and proportion. So we write the ratio in this form, we write this colon in between the two values. So we read this as A ratio B. Okay, and we can write this as in the quotient form, that is A divided by B. Okay, so this A is called antecedent and B is called consequent. Okay, while in proportion we have, you can see the two different values here, A divided by B, and here we have C divided by D. Okay, so but values are different but their ratios will be equal. Okay, so when we write two different ratios in this form, they will be called proportions. Okay, so one more thing you have to understand, that if you have two ratios equal, that A ratio is equals to C ratio D, then we can write this as A ratio B as A divided by B, and this C ratio D as C divided by D. Okay, A divided by B and C divided by D. So when you are going to solve this, so what we're going to do, we'll do the cross multiplication. That means this A will be multiplied with the D and this B will be multiplied by C. So here it will come A into D will be equals to B into C. Okay, that's how we solve the different problems of proportion and the ratio. Okay, also you can see that we can write the ratio in three different form. We can write this as A to B. Okay, so we read this as A to B. Okay, we can also write the ratio is A colon B. So using the colon, you can also write ratio A colon B, or we can also represent this in the fraction form, that is A divided by B. Okay, so we can represent any ratio in three different form, which is A to B, A colon B, or A divided by B, but all three are same. Okay, So now let's do the question based on ratio and proportion, that is from exercise 8.1. This exercise total have 6 questions. Will be cover all the 6 questions in today in this session. So the first question of this exercise is find the ratio of the following. So we are given the first values here are, which is part A, the speed of cycle is 15 km per hour while the speed of scooter is 30 km per hour, and we have to find the ratio of these two values. Okay, so let's start the answer. Answer number 1, part A. So what we have here is, first we write the given quantities. We have speed of cycle, which is 15 kilometers per hour. Okay, and we have speed of scooter, which is 30 kilometers per hour. Okay, now we have to find its ratio. So first thing which you have to notice by finding the when you are calculating the ratio, that the unit of both the quantity or the value has to be same. As you can see here, the unit is kilometer per hour, and here also the unit is kilometer per hour. That means the unit in both cases are same. Okay, you have to make sure the unit of both the values or the quantity has to be same. Like in this question, it's already given that the unit of both is kilometer per hour and the kilometer per hour, so we don't have to change anything. So just simply write hence the ratio of speed of cycle to the speed of scooter is equals to, okay, like I told you, when you are going to write the ratio, you will always write the quantity or the value mentioned first in the numerator and the quantity which is mentioned later in the denominator. Like it has mentioned the speed of cycle first, and later he has mentioned the speed of scooter. Okay, so we'll write the speed of cycle first, that is in the numerator, that is 15 kilometers per hour, and speed of scooter, which is 30 kilometer per hour. Okay, so one more thing that you have to understand here is, whenever you write ratio, as I told, you have to first make sure the unit of both the quantity is same. So if the unit of both quantity is same, then you can cancel them out. Okay, so so what we gonna do is, we will not write the unit in case of ratio. Okay, so we'll just write the number, because as the ratio the unit of the both the values are equal, so when you write them they will be cancelled out. Okay, so what remain here is only the values. Okay, so you have to remember that a ratio does not have any unit. Okay, so when you divide the 2 by 15, you will get 1 by 2, or this 1 by 2 can be written as 1 ratio 2. Okay, so that's the answer of this part 1 of question number A. The speed of cycle, the ratio of speed of cycle to the speed of scooter is 1:2. Okay, let's come to the part B. Here we have that we have to find the, we are given the two quantities here now, 5 meter and 10 kilometer. So we'll write the quantities. We have 5 meter and 10 kilometer. Okay, as you can see here, the unit of both the quantities are different. Here we have meter and here we have kilometers. Okay, so first thing is to make the unit of both the values same. Okay, either we have to make both the unit to kilometer or both to meter. So generally what we do is, we reduce the, or we change the bigger quantity to a smaller one. Okay, so bigger unit to smaller one. So bigger unit after the 2 is kilometer, so we'll change this to kilometer to the smaller unit, which is meter. Okay, for that we'll write, as we know 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter. Okay, so 10 kilometers will be 10 into 1000. When you divide the 2, you will get 10,000 meter. Okay, so as we know 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meters, so the 10 kilometer will be 10 into 1000 meter, which is 10,000 meters. Okay, So we'll write hence the required ratio is, hence the required ratio is equals to, or you can write ratio equals to, again we'll write the first mentioned quantity which is 5 meter in the numerator, and the second mentioned quantity which is 10 kilometer we have changed it to 10,000 meter in denominator, that is 10,000. And like I said, while writing the ratio will not write the unit. Okay, so first you have to make the unit same, then while writing the ratio will not mention the unit. Okay, so when you divide the two, you will get, let's divide them by 5, you will get 1 here and 2000 here. So you can write, or the ratio is 1 is to 2000. So that's the answer. Okay, now let's come to the part C of question number 1. Here we are given that 50 paisa to 5 rupees. Okay, so quantities that we have is 50 paise and 5 rupees. Okay, so again you can see that the unit of the value here is paise, while here it is rupees. So again we have to change the unit of one of the value here to make them same. So like I said, we generally change the bigger unit to a smaller one. So out of the two, the rupees is the bigger value unit. Okay, so we'll change the rupees to paise. Okay, so that as we know, 1 rupee is equals to 100 paise. Okay, so 5 rupee will be equals to 5 into 100 paise. Okay, so that will be 500 paise. So 5 rupees is equals to 100 paise. So okay, so remember this, 1 rupee is equals to 100 paise. So now we'll write the required ratio. Hence the required ratio is equals to, again the quantity which is mentioned first is 50 paise. So we'll write the 50 divided by the quantity which is mentioned later, which is 5 rupees, and 5 rupees is equals to 500 paise. Okay, again we will not mention the unit, as I said told you, in ratio that we will not write the unit. Okay, so when you divide the two, you will get 1 by 10, or the ratio is 1 is to 10. Okay, so the ratio of 50 paise to 5 rupees is 1 is to 10. Okay, now let's come to the question number 2. Now this question is convert the following ratios to percentage. Okay, this is again a very simple question. We are given the two ratios. The first one is 3 is to 4 and second is 2 is to 3. We have to convert this ratio in percentage. Okay, so let's write the answer number 2, part A. Okay, so ratio given to us is 3 is to 4. So we'll write the percentage of 3 is to 4 will be equals to, we'll write this ratio in quotient form, that is in division form, that is 3 divided by 4. Okay, and in order to convert this into percentage, what we're going to do is we will multiply this by 100. Okay, percent. So in order to convert any quantity into percentage, you will always multiply that by 100%. So when you divide this 100 by 4, you will get 25 here. Okay, so that will be 3 into 25%. So when you multiply that, you will get 75%. Okay, so the percentage of 3 ratio 4 is equals to 3. You will write first this in the question form, that is 3 divided by 4, and will always multiply that by 100%. Okay, so when you divide this 4 by 100, you will get 25, and this 25 into 3 will give us 75%. Okay, so the 3 is to 4 is equals to 75%. Okay, now let's see the second one, part B. Here we have 2 ratio 3. Okay, so we'll write the percentage of 2:3 is equals to, so first we'll write this in the quotient form, that is 2 divided by 3, and we'll multiply this by 100%. okay, so here let's multiply this 100 by 2 first. So we'll get 200 by 3%. okay, when you divide this 200 by 3, you will get 66 and 2 by 3%. okay, so 2 by 3 is equal to 63 is to 2 by 3%. okay, so that's the answer of the part B of question number 2. Now let's move to the question number 3. We have 72% of 25 students are interested in mathematics. How many are not interested in mathematics? So in a class there are total 25 students. Out of those 25 students, 72% of the students are interested in mathematics, and we have to calculate the number of students who are not interested in mathematics. okay, we can solve this question in two ways. I'll tell you the both methods. So let's write the answer number 3. okay, first you have to write the number of students in the class and the percentage of the student interested in the mathematics, which is given in the question. okay, so first is total number of students is equals to 25, and we are given the percentage of student interested in mathematics. So the percentage of students interested in maths is equals to 72%. okay, so first we'll write the given quantities, which we are given that number of students in the class is 25, and the percentage of students like mathematics are interested in mathematics is 72%. okay, so first thing is, one way to solve this question is calculate the number of students interested in mathematics, then we'll subtract that number from the total number of students. okay, so let's first write the method 1. This is the method 1 to solve this question. okay, so here what we're gonna do is, as the percentage of student interest in mathematics is 72%, so we'll calculate the number of students interested in mathematics. So the number of student interested in maths, okay, that will be equals to 72% of total student is 25. okay, as it is given in the question, the number of student interested in maths will be percentage of student of total number of student. okay, so in order to solve this, when you remove this percentage sign, you will always get the 100 in the denominator. okay, this of means multiplication, and we'll write it as 25. okay, so when you solve this 72% will be written as 72 by 100. When you remove the percentage sign, you will always get the 100 here, and this of means multiplication, that is multiplied by number of student. So when you divide this 25 by 100, you will get 4 here, so this will be 72 by 4, and when you solve this, divide this again, you will get 18. okay, 72 divided by 4 is 18. So the number of students interested in mathematics is 18. So now you can calculate the number of students who are not interested in mathematics, that is total number of students minus the number of students who are interested in mathematics. okay, so we'll write hence the number of students not interested in mathematics is equals to total number of student minus number of students who are interested in mathematics. So 25 minus 18 is equals to 7. okay, so in out of the 25 students in this class, only 7 students are those who are not interested in mathematics. okay, so I want you, all of you, to write in the comment box of this video how many of you are interested in mathematics, and how many of you are not interested in mathematics. okay, please write that in the comment box, okay, mentioning your name also. So this is the case method 1 of solving this question. Let's see the method 2 of doing this. okay, so what we did here is, first we calculated the number of students who are interested in mathematics. okay, then we subtracted that number from the total number of students. Now we can do this another way, like we are given that the 72% of the students like the mathematics, or they are interested in mathematics. So the total percentage for any quantity is always 100%. Okay, so we can calculate the percentage of students who are not interested in mathematics. Okay, so second method is, so the percentage of students not interested in mathematics, or you can write in short maths, is, as I told, always the total percentage for any quantity is 100%, and the number of students who are interested in mathematics is 72. So 100% minus 72%. So when you subtract the two, you will get 28%. So there are 28% student in the class who are not interested in mathematics. Okay, out of the 100% student, 72% is interested in mathematics, while 28% are not interested in mathematics. Okay, now we can calculate the number of students who are not interested in mathematics. So write hence the number of students who are not interested in maths is equals to 28% of total number of students, which is 25. Okay, so in order to solve this, when you remove this percentage sign from 28, you will get 100 in the denominator. Okay, and this of means multiplication by 25. Okay, now when you solve this, we will divide this 25 by 100, you will get 4 here. So this will be 28 by 4, and that will be 7. Okay, so that's the answer. Now you can see in both way we are getting the same answer, which is 7 and 7. So you can use any method. What we did here is, we first calculated the number of students who are interested in mathematics, and then we have subtracted it from the number of total number of students. While in this one, we have calculated the percentage of students who are not interested in mathematics, and then we have calculated the number of students. Okay, you can use any of the two method, whichever you find easy for you. Okay, so that's up your choice. Okay, and do write in the comment box how many of you are interested in mathematics and how many of you are not interested in mathematics, mentioning your name also. Okay, now let's come to the next question, which is the question number 4. It says a football team won 10 matches out of the total number of matches they played. So it's not given the how many matches in total they have played. Out of that number of matches, they have won 10 matches. Okay, if their win percentage is 40%. Okay, so out of the total number of matches they have played, their winning percentage is 40%. That means if they have played 10 matches, out of those 10 matches they have won 4 matches. Okay, so the winning percentage here is 40%, while the number of matches they have won out of total matches 10. Okay, so this 40% of the total match has to be equals to 10. Okay, and that way we'll calculate the total number of matches they have played. Okay, let's write this answer number 4. Okay, first we'll write that let the number of matches, total number of matches played by the team is equals to x. Okay, let the total number of matches played by a football team equals to x. Okay, as it is not given the total number of matches, and we have to calculate the total number of matches. Okay, so we have assumed that total number of matches a football team has played is equals to, let the total number of matches played by a football team is equals to x. Okay, so let's write the number of matches they have won and the number of matches they have won is equals to 10 matches. Okay, out of the total matches they have played, they have won only 10 matches. Okay, and the percentage of matches they have won and the percentage of matches they have won is equals to 40%. Okay, so now one thing that you have to understand here is, in numbers they have won 10 matches, and in percentage they have won 40% match out of the total matches that they have played. Okay, in numbers they have won only 10 matches, while in percentage they have won 40% of their matches of the total matches they have played. So you can write this as, therefore, okay, listen this carefully. In order to calculate the total number of matches, we can write this as the 40% of the matches which is won by the team of total number of matches. Okay, so 40% of the total number of matches that team has played has to be equals to 10. Okay, as it is given that in percentage they have won 40% matches, and in number they have won 10 number of matches. Okay, so the 40% of the total matches has to be equals to 10. Okay, so if you have understood this equation, and that means you've understood the concept. Okay, I'm explaining this again, that the 40% of total number of matches that the team has played has to be equal to 10, because in number they have won 10 matches, and in percentage they have won 40% of their matches. Okay, so now when you solve this, in order to solve this, first remove the percentage sign, so we'll get 40 by 100 here, and this of means multiplication into x equals to 10. Okay, or this will be x equals to 10. This 40 by 100 when shifted to the right hand side will become 100 by 40. Okay, so this 1 0 will be cancelled out, this 1 0 will cancel the 0 here, and this 100 by 4 will give us 25. Okay, so the value of x is equal to 25. So right, hence the total number of matches they have played is equals to 25 matches. Okay, so that's the answer of the question number 4 of exercise 8.1. Now let's move to the question number 5. It says, if Chameli had 600 rupees left after spending 75% of her money, how much money she had in the beginning? Okay, so in the beginning, a girl named Chameli had some amount of money. Okay, out of those total money she has spent 75%. Okay, so out of the total money she has already spent 75% of the money. So how much money is left? That is, always a total for any quantity is 100%. So out of 100% she has spent 75%, so remaining percentage of money is 25, and in rupees that money is 600 rupees. Okay, so using this value we can easily find the total amount of money she had in the beginning. Okay, so let's write the answer number 5. Let the money Chameli had in beginning equals to, let the money Chameli had in the beginning equals to x rupees. Okay, that the money Chameli had in the beginning is equals to x rupees. So out of that money she has spent 75%. Okay, so that percentage of money she has spent is equals to 75%. Okay, so out of total money she has spent 25% of her money, and the money left with her is, and the money left with her is equals to rupees 600. Okay, so again listen this, in percentage she has spent 75%, that means the remaining money is 25%. Okay, so we'll write, therefore the percentage of money left is equals to, as I told, the total percentage for any quantity is 100%, and out of those 100% she has spent 75%. That means we will subtract the 75%, so the money left is 25%. Okay, so in the beginning she had 100% money, she has spent 75% of money, so the remaining money is 25% of the total money. So in percentage that money is 25%, and rupees that money is 600 rupees. Okay, so we can write, so we can write this as 25%, which is the remaining money, of total money, which is we have taken as x, is equals to the money left with her is 600 rupees. Okay, so 25%, which is the money left with her is equals to 600, which is the 25% of total is equals to 600. Okay, now when you remove this percentage sign, you will get 25 by 100 here. This of means multiplication into x is equals to 600. Okay, again keeping this x here, we will shift this 25 by 100 onto the right hand side, so it will become 600 multiplied by 100 divided by 25. Okay, when you divide that, you will this 125 you will get 4 here, and this 4 into 600 will give us 2400. Okay, so the answer is 2400, right? Hence the money Chameli had in the beginning is 2400 rupees. Now let's come to the question number 6, which is the last question of this exercise. Says if 60% of people in a city like cricket, 30% people like football, and the remaining like other game. Okay, so always the total percentage for any quantity is 100. Out of those 100% people, 60% like cricket, 30% like football, and the remaining, which is the 10%, like the other games. Okay, then what percentage of people like other game? And you have to calculate, if the total number of people in the city is 50 lakh, find the exact number who like the each type of game. Okay, this is again very simple question. Let's write its answer. Number 6, here what we have is percentage of people like the cricket. First we'll write the number of people, total number of people in city, number of people in the city is given as 50 lakh. 50 lakh means 5 0 0 0 and 0. That means this is the 50 lakh. Okay, in numbers. Now we are given that percentage of people who like cricket and percentage of people who like cricket is equals to 60%. Okay, and percentage of people who like football is equals to 30%. Okay, so the number of people who like cricket is 60%, and the number of people who like football is 30%. So the number of people who like other games, so the percentage of people who like other game will be equals to the total percent, which is always 100%, minus the number of people who like, let's write it here, is equals to total percentage for every quantity is 100% minus the number of people who like cricket plus percentage of people who like football. Okay, so this will be 100% minus 90%, so that is 10%. So the number of people or the percentage of people who like cricket is 60%, percentage of people who like football is 30%, and the percentage of people who like other game is 10%, and the population of this city, and that is the number of people in the city, is 50 lakh. Now we have to calculate the number of people who like the particular game. Okay, so I'll write hence the number of people who like cricket is equals to 60% of total population, which is 50 lakh. Okay, in order to solve this, the 60% will become 60 by 100. This of means multiplication 50 lakh. Okay, so this 20 here will cancel out the 2 zeros here. Okay, these 2 zeros. So what remain here is this 6 into 5 is 30, and 0 0 0 0 0 30 lakh. Okay, so there are 30 lakh people who like cricket. Then, and the number of people who like football is equals to 30% of total number of people, which is 50 lakh. So when you solve this 30% will be changed to 30 by 100. This of means multiplication 50 lakh, and when you solve this again, you will get 15 lakh people who like football. Okay, this 20 will cancel the 20 here. This 30 into this 50,000 will be 15 lakh. Okay, and the number of people who like other game is equals to 10% of total number of people, which is again 50 lakh. So when you solve this 10% will change to 10 by 100. This of means multiplication, then 50,000 multiplied to, and when you solve this, you will get it as 10 lakh people. Not 10, it will be 5 lakh. 5 lakh people like other game like badminton, tennis. So that's the answer of the question number 6 of exercise 8.1. We have completed all the 6 questions. Okay, with this we have completed exercise 8.1. So that's all for now. Thanks for joining here. Thank you.